So Caitlin Clark just made a decision that's going to send shockwaves to the entire sports marketing world. And honestly, Nike has nobody to blame but themselves. After months of watching Nike fumble what should have been the easiest marketing layup in history, Clark reportedly said enough is enough. And the deal she just signed with Adidas? Let me tell you, it's not just about the money. It's about respect. It's about visibility. And it's about Nike learning the hard way that you don't treat a generational talent like an afterthought. Now, before we get into the details of this Adidas deal, we need to talk about how we even got here. Because this isn't just Caitlin Clark switching shoe brands. This is a culmination of one of the biggest marketing disasters in recent sports history. Let me show you something that should make every Nike executive lose sleep at night. A former 15-year employee from Nike's women's division just went viral with a video that's been circulating all over the internet. And she didn't hold back. She pulled up two charts side by side. On one side, Nike's stock price since 2021, down nearly 60%. On the other side, Google Trends data for female basketball players. And there's Caitlin Clark absolutely dominating the search traffic. The only player who even comes close is Angel Reese. And guess what? Nike doesn't have her either. She's with Reebok. This employee looked directly at the camera and said, "You have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan, and you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play this." That's a quote, slow play, and she's absolutely right. Think about this for a second. Caitlin Clark signed an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike. That deal included her own signature shoe. Sounds great on paper, right? Except here's the problem. That deal was signed before her rookie season. We're now well past that rookie season, and where's the shoe? Where's the merchandise? Where are the commercials? Gatorade tweeted about her when she went back to Iowa for that preseason game. They posted a photo with the caption, "Real home court advantage. Welcome back to Iowa, Caitlin Clark." That's basic marketing. That's showing up for your athlete when it matters. Nike? Crickets. Their main account said nothing. Nike basketball said nothing. For one of the biggest moments in their biggest star season, they were completely silent, and fans noticed. They were all over Twitter asking the same question. Why isn't Nike saying anything? This is Caitlin Clark returning to Iowa, hitting that massive logo three-pointer, and her lead sponsor is nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, Gatorade, who probably pays her a fraction of what Nike does, showed up. But it gets worse, much worse. During the WNBA season, Nike announced Aya Wilson's signature shoe. Now listen, Aya Wilson absolutely deserves a signature shoe. She's a champion. She's a multiple MVP. She's earned it. But here's what made fans furious. Nike had reportedly been working on Wilson's shoe for 2 years. 2 years. While Caitlin Clark fans were begging for any merchandise, any shoe, anything with her name on it, Nike was keeping Wilson's shoe a secret for 2 years. The timing felt like a slap in the face. It looked like Nike was intentionally prioritizing Wilson over Clark. And whether that was the intention or not, that's how it came across. When you got millions of fans asking where Caitlin Clark's shoe is, and your response is to announce another player's shoe instead, you're sending a message. And that message is, we don't think Caitlin Clark is our priority. Let me put this in perspective for you. Caitlin Clark became the first athlete since Michael Jordan to get her own signature basketball from Wilson. Not a shoe, a basketball. The actual ball. Michael Jordan is arguably the most famous athlete in the world. His brand is worth billions. And Caitlin Clark is the first person since him to achieve this specific honor. That's the level of influence we're talking about. She's not just popular with basketball fans. Games featuring Caitlin Clark have seen viewership numbers triple the WNBA average. National broadcasts are pulling in over 340,000 viewers, sometimes more. In just the first week of her rookie season, the WNBA's social media channels got 157 million video views. That's a 380% increase from a year before. And who was at the center of all that attention? Caitlin Clark. Time magazine named her Athlete of the Year in 2024. She has a $36 million economic impact on Indianapolis alone. From ticket sales to merchandise to the restaurants and hotels near the arena, she's boosting the entire city's economy by herself. There are reports that put her on a worldwide marketability list ahead of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, ahead of Steph Curry. Think about that for a second. And what did Nike do with this athlete? They put her in group marketing campaigns with other rookies. They treated her like just another player in a collective. They didn't give her a signature shoe. They didn't give her prominent commercials. They acted like she was one of many, when the reality is she's one of one. There was even that Super Bowl commercial situation that perfectly captures Nike's confusion. They put out a great commercial featuring Caitlin Clark during the Super Bowl. Fans loved it. Nike got praise for finally showing up. Then the very next day, they released another commercial that didn't mention Caitlin Clark at all. Fans are confused. Then Nike re-edited that commercial and did a voiceover to add her in. It was embarrassing. It looked like they had no plan, no strategy, just chaos. Here's what a lot of people don't understand about endorsement deals. It's not just about the money. It's about the commitment. It's about showing up. When you sign someone like Caitlin Clark, you're not just buying the right to put your logo on her jersey. You're entering into a partnership, and partnerships require effort from both sides. Nike violated that partnership. Maybe not legally, but they definitely violated the spirit of it. They promised her a signature shoe and didn't deliver. They promised to elevate her brand, and instead, they buried her in group campaigns. They had the opportunity to make her the face of women's basketball, and they chose to play it safe. Meanwhile, Adidas was watching all of this unfold. And according to sources close to the negotiations, they started reaching out to Clark's team months ago. They didn't just offer money. They offered a plan, a real plan. They promised her own line, signature colorways, creative control, and most importantly, they promised to make her the centerpiece of their women's basketball marketing. The reported deal is $20 million, but here's what matters more than the number. Adidas is promising to launch her first signature shoe within 6 months. They're committing to multiple commercials. They're planning a full marketing campaign that puts her front and center. They're not asking her to share the spotlight. They're giving her the spotlight. And honestly, this is exactly what Adidas needs. They've been trying to compete with Nike in basketball for years. They've had some success with individual players, but they haven't had that one transcendent star who changes the entire conversation. Caitlin Clark is that star. If Adidas plays this right, and early indications suggest they will, this could be their biggest signing since Derrick Rose. Maybe bigger. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just popular with one demographic. She's popular with young girls who are picking up a basketball for the first time. She's popular with college basketball fans who watched her break Pete Maravich's scoring record. She's popular with casual fans who maybe never watched women's basketball before, but tuned in because everyone was talking about her. That's a massive market, and Adidas just got access to all of it. Now let's talk about what this means for Nike. This is a disaster for them, not just because they lost Caitlin Clark, but because of how they lost her. This wasn't a bidding war where Adidas just offered more money. This was Nike failing to fulfill their end of the deal, and Clark walking away because of it. That former Nike employee who made that viral video said it best. Nike's executives are sitting on stock options that are now worthless because the stock is down 60%. Meanwhile, they had the biggest star in women's sports, and they slow played it. They convinced themselves they didn't need to go all in on Caitlin Clark. They thought they could treat her like any other endorser. And now they're watching her sign with their biggest competitor. And they're watching Adidas prepare to do everything Nike should have done from day one. There's already speculation about what Clark's first Adidas shoe is going to look like. Fans are creating mock-ups. Sneaker blogs are posting predictions. The hype is real. And when that shoe drops, it's going to sell out immediately. Kids are going to be lining up at Foot Locker like it's 1996, and the new Jordans just released. Nike had that opportunity. They could have had those lines. They could have had that hype. They could have had Caitlin Clark selling shoes faster than they could manufacture them. Instead, they're going to watch Adidas reap all those benefits. And here's the other thing Nike needs to worry about. This sends a message to every other athlete considering a deal with them. If Nike can fumble Caitlin Clark this badly, who else are they going to disappoint? What other promises are they going to break? Athletes talk to each other. Agents talk to each other. This story is going to get around. And the next time Nike tries to sign a major female athlete, that athlete is going to remember what happened with Caitlin Clark. They're going to ask tough questions. They're going to demand guarantees. And Nike's reputation is going to make those negotiations much harder. Look, I'm not saying Nike is finished. They're still the biggest sports brand in the world. They still have LeBron. They still have a massive infrastructure. They still have the iconic swoosh. But this is a major blow. This is the kind of mistake that gets executives fired. This is the kind of mistake that changes the trajectory of a company. Because sports marketing is about momentum. It's about being associated with winners, with stars, with moments that people remember. And right now, Caitlin Clark is the biggest moment in women's sports. Nike had her, and they let her go. Adidas, on the other hand, just made the signing of the decade. They identified a generational talent that their competitor was taking for granted, and they swooped in. They offered respect, visibility, and a real commitment. And Clark said yes. The first Adidas ad featuring Caitlin Clark is going to be everywhere. It's going to be on every sports blog, every social media platform, every highlight reel. And Nike is going to have to watch it all happen, knowing they could have prevented it. So what do you think? Did Nike make the biggest marketing mistake in sports history? Or is this just business as usual, and Clark would have left eventually anyway? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to stay updated on everything happening with Caitlin Clark and the WNBA, hit that subscribe button. This story is just getting started.